Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Welcome back to another Challenger Spectate, and today we're watching AHRI. Now the reason for watching AHRI is she's clearly very good at the moment. High mobility, which is a definite factor to play a mage. You know, you can see Syndra on the enemy team. I play a lot of immobile mages and it just doesn't sometimes feel great. A lot of obviously roaming support players in the game now. Oh, Volibear did use flash, by the way. You can see it up here. But yeah, a lot of roaming supports and mobile mages just typically get punished really, really hard. Oh, sorry, mobile mid laners get punished really hard. So that's why AHRI, I think, is good, is because she's the mixture of both. Now, obviously, the build of AHRI is standardly Malignance into Lichbane. Now, this build is good. It has weaknesses, and I've always found the weaknesses is if you're doing that build and you're going Malignance, then you're going Lichbane, but you're not actively doing very well, but you still go through with that build, it actually does very little damage. But the flip side of it, if you have a good early game and you manage to get to Malignance pretty quickly and then snowball into Lichbane, it's a snowballing build. That's kind of what it's for. I also found it quite funny in this game that there's a bunch of stuff that just seems outdated that people are doing. For example, Twisted Fate top lane, and it looks to be AD Twisted Fate. That's been nerfed away, but people are still doing it. And I've always explained this premise to people of it happens even in Challenger, and the premise is, let's say a weird pick comes out, and we'll give AD Twisted Fate as that example. That pick comes out, and you pick that weird kind of new playstyle up, but then miraculously you start climbing a crazy amount with it. Like, because obviously, one, it's really strong, but two, you just click with it. It's one of those things you're like, oh wow, this actually goes really good with me. You start spamming it, and you start going up in ratings that you've never potentially been before, and then it gets nerfed away. That is when sometimes you start to see people, even though a thing has been nerfed away, they still do it. Because if they have climbed to new ranks using that thing, even a nerfed version of it, it's what they're now reliant on. You know, that's kind of the thing of it, is they're still reliant on, like, I'm not saying that this Twisted Fate is that. I've not looked up his profile. But let's just say this person got to Challenger first time ever playing ADTF. They've jumped on a couple different things since the TF nerf. This is not going very well. They'll just stay on the ADTF, even though it's been nerfed away. So, yeah. Anyway, matchup in mid lane, AHRI versus Syndra. I would actually call it a relatively skill-based matchup. In a pure 1v1, I would actually give the advantage to a Syndra. But it is a bit weird that this Syndra's running Summon AHRI. I don't actually like Summon AHRI on Syndra. Good harass, though, by the AHRI. Good return by the Syndra. Again, a lot of skill shots are going to be hit in these because obviously these are Challenger players, so their accuracy is scary. But yeah, I would say in a pure 1v1, it goes slightly into Syndra's favor. She is obviously a very good 1v1 kill champion, but you can always outplay, and that's what that AHRI just did. Flash play did not give time for Syndra to react. Yes, she did have flash. I mean, the time of reaction would have been in the milliseconds, and there might have been a slight moment that Syndra could have flashed, but that's when you're kind of talking like inhuman reaction times are needed. Now, some people may say, like, do I think it's worth for an AHRI to go for that? Yes. The reason why is she's not that far away from level 6. And, you know, Volibear's hello in mid lane. She's not that far away. You know, if she plays now a little bit safe, a little bit secure for the next minute to two, another charm hit, she will be level 6. She's used her flash, but then she's got her ultimate that is a version of flash, right? It's mobility, and that's what it is at the end of the day. So, yes, she's vulnerable right now if, you know, Volibear just chain ganked her. But at the same time, I actually kind of think that she's more or less safe. But yeah, first charm that actually misses a lot. So again, very clearly just to see how the AHRI is playing, I think the word is aggressive. Constantly, well, it's the mixture of, if you notice her spells, she's always throwing them through the minion wave, but also trying to hit the Syndra. And that's the thing that I've always said to people, if you're against an aggressive mage, what their nightmare is you standing and not in the minion wave. And you're like, what? So if Syndra doesn't stand in the minion wave, it risks her getting charmed because she doesn't have a minion in front of her. But what an AHRI ultimately wants is to land damage on a champion and land damage on the wave. If you stand within the wave, she can throw her Q, and it's wave clearing, it's pushing, and hitting the Syndra. So overall, I would say sometimes not standing in the wave is the better thing to do, as long as you're comfortable to dodge a charm. Which again, hopefully you can be. Syndra obviously is a mobile, and that's one of her and pretty much main weakness. But if you like rush tier 2 boots, for example, those are things that you can try to do to try and counter it. So as I said, AHRI used his flash in the early game, but lo and behold, has level 6 now, so she's got mobility. Interesting choice. So some people I've always seen of like, why do people throw those wards down in the middle of the lane? I'm sure you watching this may have questioned that sometimes. So the reason why people do that is they always put it a little bit into the enemy territory. And what it's designed to do is just see if someone's hanging around this area, because when minions aren't in that area, the enemy team doesn't have vision here. So that is ultimately what it's trying to do, is just kind of scout, where is the AHRI? Is she just waiting under tower? If she's not under tower, then she's roaming. I can ping that she's missing. So that is the idea. Now AHRI is waiting off to the here, because basically I think she's expecting that Volibear was looking for a dive. Kalista obviously is a very early game champion. Early ultimate by AHRI. Gonna go for the charm, lands it on the Janna, gets pushed away into the Kalista, and a nice 2-for-0 double kill. So no kill for the AHRI, but again, that's another one of the advantages you could say AHRI over a typical immobile mage. She's much better at roaming, and obviously roaming is stupidly powerful still in League of Legends. So, you know, Syndra stays in mid lane, she's 4 minions ahead. By the time this dies, AHRI is going to be ahead in farm, has gotten a kill obviously already in the lane, and has roamed and also managed to help to get both of the enemy bot lane when they are... Oh, is that a tilted Kalista? Again, I've always found, let me know if you guys agree, Kalistas are really ragey. I think, hilariously, Kalistas have turned into a version of Draven players, and it's because they've, in balance, skewed her more early game. And if her early game goes bad, she's 0-2 right now, they just completely flip out. And to be honest, I do think a lot of Draven players also play Kalista, and I think a lot of Kalista players also play Draven. So I think it is the same group of champs. And you can see it, yeah, they have... Kalista has straight up quit bot lane. So they are now putting 2 people in mid, 1 person in bot. I mean, it's not even ideal, because again, the thing with Kalista, she wants kills in the early game, and you're not going to kill this AHRI. It's just not going to happen. So you're more likely to kill a Varus than an AHRI because of mobility, and they're now just completely giving up all that pressure. So it's where, like, sometimes mentally, when you're in a game and you notice this type of thing happen, be happy about it, because you can kind of definitely tell the enemy is tilted. Because if it wasn't a tilted Kalista, you'd never have done that trade. So with having the enemy bot lane in mid, they use the number pressure that they have to go and do the grubs. They're now trying to do a gank with the Volibear, but this is hard forcing, because, like, that's a lot of people that you're committing to this play. That's actually 4 people mid lane. AHRI's still got her ultimate. She has flashback up. You're committing 4 players to 1 play when it isn't probably going to work anyway. So meanwhile, the enemy team was thinking about Dragon, but then you have these 3 here ready to go too. So I don't love how blue team honestly are playing this. It seems a little bit desperate in some ways. So the Volibear is going all in for the AHRI. As we said, though, she still has flash. Enemy team double flash for the AHRI in desperation. Maybe didn't realize she has flash herself, and they've committed a lot to get nothing. So now all red team has to do is play this slowly, which they're doing, and, well, AHRI might go down if Volibear's Q comes back. Yeah, she's dead. Close, though. That was actually quite close of not dying. They should kill the Volibear. He's got no way to escape this properly, as long as they hit spells, which they do, and he does go down. So there we go. Malignance purchase complete for AHRI. Pretty nice pre-10 minutes Malignance. Obviously, it's a cheap-ish item. So yeah, already complete with tier 1 boots. Naturally, you want to rush this item. Again, I've conceded, because whenever I saw AHRI's buy Malignance first, I still think there's a lot of players that are obsessed with this item where they shouldn't be. There's some champions that I've seen buy it. Like, I've seen Syndra's buy Malignance first, and I just find that really stupid. AHRI is quite ultimate bound, so I can definitely see it with AHRI more than other champions. And as long as, all I would say to an AHRI with Malignance, you need to try and get it pretty early. Like, if you are 14 minutes into the game and you still haven't got Malignance, that's bad, straight up bad. And the moment that you have Malignance, your aggression needs to go up. That's sometimes what I've seen Ahris buy Malignance, but they're late to getting it, and then they don't change their playstyle, they don't go aggressive at all, and it's like, well, they don't seem that strong. But yeah, the premise, just to explain again, if I don't even know what this Syndra is going to buy, you should never buy a Malignance really first item on a Syndra. Syndra is not in the early game completely tied to her ultimate. Where she becomes very good with her ultimate and where the ultimate value goes up insane amount is when it becomes an execute. And it doesn't become an execute before you get 2 items. So you may as well get something like Ludens that will give you wave clear. Ahri TPing to bot lane, gets the Janna. So the enemy bot lane, here's the thing, they back in bot lane, but you know because it's a Kalista, they're having to play aggressive because it's the early game Kalista, so what do? You just camp bot lane. But that's what I'm saying. Get like a Ludens that gives you good wave clear for Syndra, that allows you to farm up and stack up your passive and everything quicker. And then get, if you wanted to, get Malignance second, because then you'll be timing it when you should, roughly, be getting the ultimate execute power spike. That makes a lot more sense to me. So Twisted Fate in top lane does actually kill Karma. It looks to be a type of tower dive situation, that she dies behind the enemy tower. Syndra, I presume back in, basing. Ahri's just going to push up the wave. Presumably is also going to go back herself. Janna off to the side. Again, it's the natural thing that's weird, and kind of happened in League. So that Janna's, by the way, got Hail of Blades. I still don't really know why. I've seen a lot of Jannas do it, and it just seems a bit pointless. It's obviously to get more auto attacks off, that you shield, I guess, yourself, that then gives you the ability proc for Hail of Blades, that again then gets auto attacks quick, and then you can just poke more. I don't think it's probably worth that, but sure. But yeah, obviously heavy roaming, as always, for all junglers. I think Volibear was looking, can I do this? But is alone and got collapsed on. And meanwhile, 2v1 bot lane. You can see the Volibear is... I don't even know how he's pinging that much. Jeez, Janna. See, here's the funny thing there. If she had Summon AHRI, that Varus would have died. Because the extra damage legitimately from Summon AHRI. She only got 1 auto attack off, so Hail of Blades didn't even help her get another auto attack. I don't know, weird. So yeah, so good thing, the Syndra is actually doing what I said. She actually has gone Ludens first, so she didn't go Malignance. Straight aggressive. Again, just pure... Again, the Syndra, once again, has, by the way, her flash available. She just doesn't get to use it. Nautilus, though, back in mid lane. Ahri gets another kill. Both supports mid, by the way. And they will end up with another 2-for-0 kill situation. So arguably, I didn't actually realize, it has to be said, that this is as big of a stomp as I saw. Right now it's 16-1. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's kind of an insane stomp. Ahri probably will go back and then, yeah, start building her Lich Bane. And yeah, just very aggressive play. And the thing with Malignance, as I've mentioned, the moment you buy it on Ahri or something like that, every time you get your ultimate back, you have to go all in. Every time. Think of it as like a traditional Twisted Fate. Every time that your ultimate comes up on Twisted Fate, you go to make a TP play. That's basically what you're committing yourself to if you're going Ahri with Malignance. Do not play Ahri, buy Malignance first, and just play standard. Play aggressive every time the ultimate comes up. Boom, go in, go in, go in. Because the 20% reduction, when especially you're against an immobile mage like Syndra, you have such a mobility advantage. It's unreal. And that's what you're seeing this game. And yes, it's better teamwork in general, but you're seeing every time the Ahri's got ultimate, she's going straight on top of the Syndra. She's got ultimate, by the way, in 2 seconds. So wait for it. In the ultimate again, and boom, another solo kill. Syndra just cannot keep up. And, some people may say, like, oh, does that mean, Syndra should have bought a Malignance as well? No, that's my whole point, is it doesn't help the Syndra. Wow, nice play. Good aggression. It does not help the Syndra as much because her ultimate is not her whole being in the early game. It helps Ahri, it helps certain champions. Obviously, Karma is another one of these examples. And that's where, if you play Ahri and you play aggressive with your ultimate, buy Malignance first, 100%. If you know in yourself you play Ahri, but it's like, I'm not that aggressive as a player, then don't go Malignance. Like, it's just, that's the whole point. You have to change your playstyle to the build rather than just having a standard playstyle. That's the whole point. Yeah, really good play. Again, the charms have been really on point. It has to be said the Syndra has been caught napping a few times, like maybe should have expected things and flashed early and never has. But Lichbane complete at 15 minutes. So again, very obviously far ahead in even terms of normal item purchases. But that is what you're supposed to do here. You're supposed to snowball. You're supposed to take over a match, really. Kalista does get a solo kill on Varus, so that's quite a big deal, actually. Is it enough to turn the tides? Probably not. Especially when the other side of the map, they just kill the Karma anyway. But yeah, a bit weird to see. Again, it's very odd to see, as I said, the Twisted Fate AD in top lane. Again, genuinely in my own games, I have not seen one of them since the patch that it got mega nerfed. It's weird. So I will say, by the way, you're watching this. By the time you're watching this challenge spectate, I technically will be back from Disney, but I won't be back home. So you'll be watching this as the second video on the Friday. If everything has gone to plan, we'll be back from Disney, but staying at Queen Pleb's family's house because that's where Maya is being left. So we're going to go stay there Friday, pick Maya back up, and then drive back home here on Saturday. So yeah, technically still on holiday in some ways, but officially back from the vacation. But and one thing I just want to mention, I think it's, you know, hopefully the commentaries have been fine. I have been, I'm not gonna hide it, League has been awful for me in the last couple of weeks, like genuinely awful. I'm really hoping, and you know, I don't want to put, you know, oh, this is actually quite bad, just because of how strong red team are. Okay, AHRI does a nice thing there. That could have ended really bad, but just because of how strong red team are and how weak blue team is, it just didn't matter. That was like a big stun by Syndra, I think. Damn, that could have been bad if the enemy team had more strength. But yeah, like I was going to say, is I have had a terrible time in League of Legends in the last couple of weeks. Like, the main account is bumping between Emerald and Diamond 4. And honestly, the word to use is it's embarrassing for me. As a full-time League content creator, to be Emerald 1 is bizarre in some ways. But I'm hoping, and again, I know I shouldn't put all the eggs into the basket, but I'm hoping the holiday will do my mental a real big good thing. And when I get back, we can really just have a big climbing session all the way back up to where I want to be. So just as full transparency, I am going to be tryharding and restricting the champion pool. And if that means when it comes to my YouTube content, as you just uploaded 3 games of Anivia in a row, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm never going to just one trick. I can't do that. But if there are going to be days that I'm like, right, I'm going to do 4 Briar games now. I'm going to do 3 Anivia games. I'm going to be doing 3 Volibear games. Whatever it is, whatever champions I'm going to use, I might play 2 or 3 matches in a row of that thing. Or, you know, that's the way I want to do it. So just to give you transparency, I'm going to set myself a bit of a challenge. So officially, I'm going to be back recording Ranked on Monday, the 25th of March. Meanwhile, the fight is happening between those two. Easy peasy, nice charm. I'm going to be back on the 25th of March. I'm setting myself a challenge, but I'm going to give myself just over a month, because we're at the end of March anyway. So by the 30th of April, so again, just over a month period. Meanwhile, Volibear going for it. And again, I'll just say, this is how, by the way, blue team, it's the only way you can get back into games. You have to outnumber the enemy team. So they're actually doing it right. You've got to try and get picks without numbering them. But unfortunately, if the picks take too long, you give people time for the enemy team to get back in this situation, and then the pick ends up actually you are dead. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to give myself a challenge. April the 30th, I will minimum be Diamond 1 again. That's the challenge. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. And yeah, I'm hoping it will go good. A lot of the games where we've been losing and it's not gone well, you know, I can always play better. That's 100% true. But I know I'm not playing terrible. I think what I need to do, and here's the crazy thing, and it's just the way of solo queue, I need to embrace good solo queue carry picks and be way more selfish. Like I was at the beginning of this season, I went straight up to Diamond 1 because I played OP picks at the time. Like, remember, I was playing Briar and stuff when she was overpowered, and I took over games. I kind of stopped doing that because it's not in my nature. Really nice AHRI play, by the way. As a last stack of ultimate from getting the kill, will use it just in case she needs to. Maybe thinking about re-engaging, but Volibear himself, she didn't use the final ultimate there. She was holding it just in case Volibear managed to get on top. Yeah, let me know what you think. So tryharding. When I get back, obviously a different patch will be happening, so I'll have to kind of research who are the OP picks at the time. Hello, Volibear. And he does go down. So that Volibear really did not want to give up trying to kill the AHRI, I think. But the strength difference is simply too big. Maybe if Viego wasn't there, it might have been fine. But that's the thing. When you're losing this badly, and again, apologies, I did not realize this was a big stump, but I don't want to waste the video. I think it's really good to show you guys this is how you should play an aggressive lane, especially AHRI, who's very popular. So a bunch of you watching this definitely are playing AHRI right now. This is what you should be doing. Obviously, you can replicate the build. You can partially replicate the playstyle of playing very aggressive. The one thing that you probably cannot replicate is obviously the accuracy. This AHRI is being incredibly accurate, and that's what's making it so much better. But that's what you should be aiming for, obviously, if you're playing AHRI. So third item, and this is what I really like. So this build, as I mentioned, its actual damage can be quite low. But the damage itself can be low, but you're doing it so often. That's kind of the trade-off. If you manage to go death cap third item at 20 minutes into the game, then your damage is high, obviously. So I actually really liked the death cap third item choice. There's, you know, a few items that she could have chose from. She could have gone Shadow Flame. She could have gone Void Staff, but she chose Death Cap because that's going to give her the biggest damage boost. But also, it's really expensive. But because she's doing so well, she can afford it. So I really like the decision. But yeah, apologies. Did not realize how big of a stomp this was. If I knew it was this big of a stomp, I may not have recorded it. But I do think showing it is useful. If you can replicate this, then you might be able to snowball games yourself. But that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, do throw a like on the video, throw a comment, throw a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our Gloria to live forever. Bring down the dark regime.